Hi everyone, it's that time again, Cheltenham Festival 2014, just 5 days away now, and the excitement's building. It's going to be a very interesting festival, I think, this year. I don't think the form has been as easy to study, etc., because of the bizarre winter. We've had a lot of rain, depends, not a lot of rain, bad weather, etc., has caused havoc. We know a few trainers have lost some of their training facilities with the flooding in the south of England, for example. So it's going to be an interesting one, and a lot of the big horses as well not actually coming this year, which makes things a lot harder. Sir Deschamps obviously was lost. Q Card was lost. Biggest one, obviously, Sprinter Sacre hasn't made it, which is sad, but makes the champion chase far more open. And many more. So it's going to be a very tricky year this year. So let's crack on. Day one, race one, as always, is the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Now, won last year by Champagne Fever. The horses at the front of the market generally are what contest this race, and there's been some cracking winners over the years, even back to the likes of Istabrack, like a Butterfly, Brave Inca, and then obviously we've had some other ones in there, likes of Nolan's won it. But there's also been some big failures as well. My Tent or Yours turned over last year, was a bit of a surprise. Dungib a few years ago was another one. But in terms of looking at this year, the form horse obviously going into it is Irvine for Paul Nicholls. Now, this is some horse, this. Paul Nicholls, to say they've got no horses who can work with them at home, that suggests that this is one really fast horse to work with, because he's had some good ones over the years and still got some good ones now. He seems to be improving with every run. The big piece of form he had was at Christmas when he absolutely stuffed Splasher Dunes. Splasher Dunes then came out and won the Betfair Hurdle, and then last time out at Kempton he was breathtaking. Even took a chance at the last. He showed good track awareness. He managed to change his feet on landing and still power away. He powered away in the manner of a horse who still had a hell of a lot left after going a good clip over 2 miles. Interestingly enough, on the Amore Amato who he beat, that horse has had some really good runs at Cheltenham, so Irvine has got a cracking chance this year, and I think the better ground will actually suit him, as he is more of a speed horse. Votor is the second favourite for Willie Mullins, and he won very well last time out, beating the Tullow Tank, who had been on a roll before then. The one slight worry with this one is the ground. He's been running extensively on heavy ground. It's not going to be heavy, I don't think. I think we're looking at good to soft unless something changes over the weekend, saying that it happened last year when the money came for Champagne Fever. And the ground changed, but at the moment with how it is, I think Irvine has probably got that little bit too much toe for Vator. Saying that, though, I think Vator could also stay a bit better than Irvine on a hilly track like Cheltenham with the hill. We just don't know. We'll have to wait and see. An interesting horse also trained by Willie Mullins is Wicklow Brave. The one problem we've got with this horse for me is what does he beat? It's not, the form doesn't stand out like Vator beating the Tullow Tank, Irvine beating Amore Amato, Splasher Dunes, etc. He seems to go on all the ground, which is good. The one worry I do have is he's been raced. I've had a look through the form today. It's all been on flat tracks, and bar one run at, I think it was Tipperary, everything's been right-handed. So to suddenly go left-handed on a undulating track like Cheltenham, I'm not 1,000% sure he would stick with it. But he's a very good horse, and he could be anything. It'll be interesting to see who Ruby Walsh goes with. I'm pretty sure he's going to go with Vator, but we'll wait and see. At bigger prices, the Liquidator 16-1. It would be nowhere near that price if it wasn't for a shocking run last time. But if anyone watched the Morning Line on Channel 4 recently, David Pipe has said that he is struggling to get in there. So he's obviously had a lot of setbacks, and you don't really win a Supreme Novice with having seemingly that many problems that he's had. An improver often runs into the places in this one. And this one this year could be Jill Gamboa. He's improving all the time, and I think he rates a good each way bet. He's clearly got a lot of stamina because he seems to see his races out really well. I've got a feeling the course will suit him, and I think the strong pace we're going to get up front will also suit him. He seems to hunt around in mid-pack, and I think it's a type of one where I can see him staying on towards the end. But as always, I always give a 1, 2, 3. This year I'm going for Irving to beat Vator. With if you're looking for an each way, I think Gil Gamboa, whatever you want to call him, could run into it at 16, around about 16-1 at the moment. Next up is the Arkle, and now this one is a really tricky race to uncover. Champagne Fever's the current favourite. Obviously, he's won the last 2 festivals. Willie Mullins trained. Bit of a concern about the ground. He seems to like heavy ground. I know he won the champion bumper on good ground, but my initial thinking is the heavier the ground, the better. And the one nagging feeling I've got is he was absolutely stuffed out of sight by Defying Logic in December and hasn't been seen since. Apparently everything's okay, which I think Willie Mullins out of all the trainers is a pretty honest one. But at 11-4, 5-2. 3 months off on ground possibly faster than ideal and a lot of competition for the lead. I'm happy to avoid him at the moment at 11-4. If it was like 5-1, yeah, I could see him being a good price, but not 11-4. Trifolium is an interesting one. There's been the money for him recently. He's got good form on soft ground, but if you actually look at his form on better ground, which we're likely to get, he's well held by Felix Younger, another one of the Willie Mullins trained horses. Now, I find it staggering that Trifolium is 9-2, while Felix Younger, who is an improving horse and is definitely better on better ground, is 12-1. If you were asking me to go between the two, at the current ground, I will be taking Felix Younger at 12-1. Rock on Ruby is the wild card in this one. He's only had 2 starts over fences in tiny races with a few horses in it. I think it was even a 2-horse race last time, which is virtually pointless. You might as well score them at home. But he's got a classy horse. He's got course form over hurdles, but 4-1 on a horse with 2 chase starts. And one thing I would say is on his chase debut at Plumpton, he made a right hash of 1 fence, and I don't think you'd get away with that round Prestbury Park. So once again, 4-1. I think he'll run a good race, but I'm not happy at 4-1. My idea of the winner is Dodging Bullets for Paul Nicholls. He's got course form. He is a very, very classy horse. They thought a hell of a lot of him up as a hurdler, and everything has always been pointing towards a chase campaign. He's been in great form last time. He got beaten at Newbury last time, but I think it was Module. It was an appalling. Okay, I know the horse is a bit of a nightmare and he has trouble. It was an appalling ride by Daryl Jacob. I don't know what exactly he was trying to do. I don't know if he was trying to deliver him at the last, but he just waited, and okay, the horse didn't go past. But my take on it is he was travelling all over the winner. You go for home. For saying that though, he was staying on again at the line. The winner pulled ahead and he came back again. I think the hill at the Arkle will suit him. And 6-1 on this horse. He's got course form. He's very classy. Paul Nicholls knows how to ready a horse to win the Arkle. He obviously, the best one he ever had to win an Arkle was, he's had Azertu, but no doubt Flagship Uberalis is his flag bearer, no pun intended in this one. So that's the horse that I'd be liking here. As I said, Felix Younger is improving and is going to be better on better ground. He could run a big race at 12-1. Of the others, Grand Due, as soon as he's gone over fences, his jumping's not been good enough to win an Arkle. Could improve, can't see it. While Valdez won well at Doncaster, but the value of the form, I don't know. So my 1, 2, 3 here will be Dodging Bullets to win this from Felix Younger and Rock on Ruby. They will be my 3. Quickly over the festival handicap, because it's still got 50 horses left in it. Anna Cotti is an interesting one. Won the Corto Star Feltham Novice Chase. Has been getting better all season. Got some good course form last time when taken on for the lead. The problem I've got is he's the type who could get taken on for the lead again. But saying that, he's going to run a solid race. And in these massive handicaps, that's what you're looking for. Cantlo's interesting. His course and distance second to Double Ross in the Stewart Family Gold Cup. In December is the best form on offer. His mark's been preserved. Though the one worry I have is he hasn't run for 3 months, and look at his runs after he's had a break. They've always been below par, so that's a massive worry for him. Indian Castle's got course and distance form ahead of Anna Cotti. The worry I have is the go, and I think the more bottomless the better for him. Green Flag's interested. He struggled the last couple of times in group company, but he's got a very nice weight and he's very well thought of by the yard. But the problem I do have with this is okay, it's a handicap, but it's still graded company, and he's only raced on flat tracks. Will he go on a hilly track? I don't know. Another interesting one at a big price is King Massini. He's very tough. He's improving. He's got course and distance form. He stays. He goes well fresh as well. If you look at his form after a break, it's great. The problem is he's jumping up here from class 3 to a grade 3 handicap. Will that be too much of a jump for him? I think it possibly will be, if I'm being fair. My idea of the winner, though, is Hadrian's Approach for the Henderson Yard. He's got great course form. He was 3rd in last year's RSA chase when seemingly didn't get home over the distance. He's a year older now. And it's the form that he's got all the way through his career, it's and the likes of Dynast, Obviously we mentioned there he was third behind Lord Windermere last year's RSA. The better ground will be okay for him. He won well last time, and his mark's been preserved. And the difference between him and Cantlow is this horse does go well fresh. So I will be picking Hadrian's Approach in this one. I think he's got a great chance. One I've got to always mention because we tipped him up on here. He's won and placed for us over these previews. I do. Hunt Ball. He's been given top weight, which is a joke, absolute joke. Okay, he had good form 2 years ago. It dive bombed. He went to America. It dive bombed. He come back with a good run. I understand why, but he shouldn't be top weight. But I hope he runs a good race. My 1, 2, 3, if I had to pick it in this at the moment, I don't know if they're all going to run, will be Hadrian's Approach from Anacotti and Indian Castle, I would suggest at this stage. Next one is the big one, the Champion Hurdle. It's all about the ones at the front of the market. We're going to talk about Hurricane Fly, dual winner, one of the only horses to regain the crown, which is an interesting one. What I've seen of him this year, he's fought back like he did with Arcona. He's not just gone and hacked up in a load of like 4-horse races in Ireland, etc. He's shown that he can battle and he can fight. He's got the stay in as well as the turn of foot. He's in great form. Ruby Wall said he's never been in as good form coming in, so that's got to mean a lot to me. The new one obviously won the novice race last year at Cheltenham, and then everything was all about this. He's been very, very good this season, the new one, in all of his runs. He proves he can stay well up that hill with his run ahead of Zarkanda at Cheltenham. He got beaten at Christmas, but two things. One, he front run from halfway, which will never suit him. Two, I think he's better going left-handed than he is right-handed. And three, he made an absolute hash of the last, and My Tentor Yours run him down. Even if My Tentor Yours hadn't had a setback, which we'll just get onto, I would always have the new one over My Tentor Yours currently at this time, especially with My Tentor Yours seeming to look like he was cruising and not fully getting up the hill for me in the Supreme Novice last year. My Tentor Yours has had a setback this week. He's had a puncture wound in a foot. Apparently everything's okay, but a week before the festival, problems like this, it never bodes well. Look at Corto Star had a fall a week and a half before the festival in his last run. That was the end of that one there. Isterbrack had a problem with his coming up to the festival. That was him done there. And My Tentor Yours, even at 9 to 2, I can't have that because it might be nothing, it might not be. I'm still not 100% convinced by the form of the horse at the course, so I can't have 9 to 2 on him. Arcona has been getting better all season, and from what I've heard of someone in Ireland, they really think he's going to go close this year. The course suits him a lot more than Irish courses. Now, Hurricane Fly showed a bit more than him last time. Those two are going to be really, really close today. On that day, I should say. Not today, I wish it was, but okay. Jeski 9 to 1 hasn't really gone on this season, and apparently they're reaching for the Hood on this. A Hood first-time champion hurdle, bit of a risky one. Could run a good race. He's proven he likes the course, but I think he's just shy of the top class. I don't think he's just that class. Now, Melodic Rendezvous was interesting at 20 to 1. Won well this season on the last two occasions, running down Zarkanda to prove he really does have stamina. Like, not just the turn of foot, he has stamina. And the run before that ahead of Zeitzig at Haydock, he went from 5 lengths down to 3 lengths ahead in seconds. So that turn of foot is blistering. Everyone says that he needs soft ground, but if you look at his breeding, he's got the likes of Where or When on the flat on there. Now, he won a group race on faster ground. The horse has never run on good ground. So to say he needs soft ground is very, very bold, and for a horse with that turn of foot, I can see him going on the ground, and he's 20, 25 to 1 in a place. I think he's going to finish in the first three. It's a bit of a bold shout, but I think it's going to happen. But we have to look for the winners as well as the first three. My 1, 2, 3 is as follows. The new one from Hurricane Fly and Melodic Rendezvous. I just think the new one's just got that little bit more left in him than Hurricane Fly. But obviously it'll be brilliant to watch if Hurricane Fly wins for the third time. Put him up there with the likes of Isterbrack. But those four, I think they're all going to be very close when you bring Arcon into it. I can't wait for that race. Quickly through the Mers hurdle, it's all about Quevega. Will she make it the Big Six? My answer is yes. You can't say she won't. She always comes here fresh. People have said, someone even wrote on the internet, yeah, but she's going there without a run. It's what she's done the last 5 years in a run, and she's won. Last year's win, when everything went against Ruby, he still won going away at the end. I don't think this field is as good as last year's. Quevega's going to take all the beating at 4 to 6. But people won't want 4 to 6; they want a bit of each way value. And my idea of each way value here is Swing Bowl for David Pipe. Great run in the Betfair Hurdle, and if you look through the form, she is a spring horse. She gets better as the better weather comes in, and she'll go better on better ground. She's got a great action. I think she'll stay the triple. 16 to 1 Swing Bowl is a big price for me if you're looking for an each way play. Mischievous Millie's another one people look at 20 to 1, just seems to come up short at the big level, and this is the biggest level. Glenn's Melody has travelled over to England a few times and won. Whether she's up to this class, I really don't know. But she's improving. 14 to 1 could be the price. Cockney Sparrow stepping up in trip to 2 mile 4. Not sure that's necessarily the best thing for her, though I think it will be within the compass. She's very classy. Also won at Aintree last year, very well. But it took a very heavy fall, so it'll be interesting to see how they got over that. But will be bang there. My 1, 2, 3, Quavega to make it the record 6 from Swing Bowler and Cockney Sparrow. The National Hunt Chase is the longest race of the festival, and it's currently headed by Ted Walsh's Foxrock. This has been a horse that's improving all the time. It has been its target. I read a quote back in October. This was the target back in October more than anything, even more than Punchestown. So that means a lot, if you ask me. Clearly stays well. Ireland have a cracking record in this race. Even, I think it was Back in Focus won it last year. Horse could go very well. The English hopes in this one. Shotgun Paddy won the classic Warwick Chase last time and has run some really good races at the likes of Chepstow. Stays very well. It's going to Shotgun Paddy's had a good time off since then. He's going to run a big race, I think, because I know he'll stay the trip. Corin Wood for the McCain Yard is good. He stays. I just got a feeling that the ground might be a bit too quick, because I did read in an article at the start of the season after a stable tour that he needs very soft ground. I don't think he's going to get it necessarily at this stage. Interesting horse for me is Holywell, or Hollywell, I don't know how to pronounce it. John Joe O'Neill. John Joe O'Neill's won 4 of the last 10 years of this race, so nearly half of it. This horse was a very classy hurdler, came third last, even as recent as last April at Aintree, behind Solwit, who won the World Hurdle, only beaten 3 lengths, who clearly has a lot of stamina. He'll stay, has got good ground, and has taken well to fences. This horse, 14 to 1. That horse is going to go very close. I can't separate the 3 at the moment. I'm going to wait till close to the time, but the 3 to focus on, if I'm looking at it at this moment, is Shotgun Paddy, Foxrock, and Holywell. Now, the last race of day 1 is the Centenary Novice Chase, which was formerly the Jewson Novice Chase. Hard one to weigh up because horses are in about 8 different races in this. Head in the market at the moment is Pendra. Now, the handicap mark has been preserved here and has run pretty well this season. He beat a horse called Edward, who I really rate, but then got hammered last time out and has been off since then. Apparently they're preserving the chase mark for this. Now, the one worry I do have is he hasn't run well fresh in the past, and he's had 1 run at the course in a big field handicap and was well down, and apparently didn't like it last summer. Okay, he may have, last festival I should say, sorry. Yeah, he may have matured, but what happens if he hasn't? 6, 7 to 1 is a pretty short price for a competitive handicap for me. My idea of the winner possibly is Many Rivers to Cross. He's been running okay, but earlier this season up to Christmas, the Alan King horses, it's well documented there was something wrong. There was a virus in the yard, and he wasn't quite getting there. And even then, he was coming there running well and not finishing off his races. This is also a spring horse. Look at his form in spring. It's going to make a huge difference, I think, running this time of year. He's on a very lenient mark, 9 to 1. That's my idea of the winner. Alan King is starting to turn the screw a bit now. Present View's interesting. All of his form is on soft. He's done nothing wrong, but all the form is on really heavy going, and I don't think he's going to get it at that day of the festival. Cause of Causes is a standard player in all these big handicaps. The one worry I do have is the going will be okay. I think the trip will be okay, but this horse has been on the go since last January. Look at his form. He won all the hurdle races last year. Then he was running in the flat races over down the Galway Hurdle. I think he was in over the summer. Then he came straight back in over fences, and he's been going. That's always a worry going into the festival, I think, because you want something who's still on the go. He's been on the go for a long time. The one worry I do have as well is his form at the course isn't particularly great. I can see him running an okay race at a decent price. But I think he's just going to come up short. If you want a massive price for me here, Ohio Gold for the Tizzards, 50 to 1 currently. He always seems to run well at the course. Only once at the course he got stuffed by Bobsworth, who won the Gold Cup and other Gold Cup. Every other time than that, he's been beaten less than 10 lengths, and by some good horses too, including the likes of First Lieutenant. Um, he'll go better on the better ground. I think he run well at the course last time. I think he would have finished closer. It's just that he didn't jump the last two fences, and his feature is jumping. He races up there and he's jumping. 33 to 50 to 1. He'll give you a good run for your money. I really think so. Have a look for offers in this race. I know some are going to be giving 5 places. That'll bring Ohio Gold into this for me. But I'm going to go for a 1, 2, 3, and they are Many Rivers to Cross, From Cause of Causes, I think. I said he's going to be shy. I still think he'll go okay. And Ohio Gold, I'm happy to put him in there. Okay, thanks for watching. And yeah, next day will come pretty soon. Keep an eye out. Cheers. Bye.